Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, broads, dames, and bros, welcome to the Midnight Drive with your three-arm host, your old pal, Tiki the Hut. Thanks for joining me on the first episode of a new live stream for this channel. Originally, we had Too Late Tonight with Tiki. That's when I focused more on bolt action and Conflict 47, but now we have the Midnight Drive. You can already tell with the theming, with the vaporwave and the cyberpunk and the whole Miami Vice style. This is for a project I'm starting to play a little bit more Warhammer 40k. I'm shifting from Conflict 47 over to Warhammer 40k, mostly because Conflict 47 is in a great spot. It's doing well. I'm glad it is. When 2nd edition rolled out, YouTubers jumped all over it and they carried that torch forward, and they're doing a great job. Conflict 47 is healthy. In my local area, Warhammer 40k isn't. It's an interesting spot. So I'm going to try and do my job, or my part as it were, and try and bring back what I've kind of labeled as the 40k chill wave. Try to embrace and strengthen and promote fun 40k. Simple as that. So for this stream, as you guys see, I have some Gene Center code out here I'll be working on. They're my Necromon device guys. So while I'm painting and building these things, what I'll be aiming for actually is to just chit and or dare chat. Kind of like a stream that's basically like a DAC, like what DAC and DACA used to be in around Mid Hammer to Old Hammer. I really want to bring back that narrative kind of fun, relaxing feel to 40k. So we'll be avoiding any of the drama. You know, there's always going to be drama, new rules, new prices, less stuff in the boxes. That's always going to be there. And please don't confuse this for me trying to embrace GW. Not at all, as you can tell. some models are actually GW. Some are absolutely not. I have no problem doing proxies. What I'm trying to do is promote a more affordable and approachable way to play 40k. So, with that being said, if you guys have any cool stories, any fun stories, anything you remember from any fun games of 40k played, any edition at all, feel free to just kind of throw it in the chat. We'll talk about it. We'll kind of share these fun stories. We're going to keep the thing going. So with that being said, what I have on the table today to kind of work on, I have a Hellhound that I need to put a Hunter Killer missile on. I need to add a Heavy Stubber to one of my Ridge Runners. This is pretty cool. For the Miami Vice, Moonbeam City kind of vibes, we'll be painting this vehicle white, and where you see these little slats in the windows, these are actually going to be purple. So I'm hoping it's going to be kind of a cool feel to it. And then over here, a Jeep that was gifted to me from Squidfist. Squidfist, friend of the channel, all-around great guy. Me and him, we swap models back and forth. Again, fun part of 40k is we kind of swap armies back and forth. So he does Talaran Desert Raiders. He's slowly moving over to Orcs. So I'm sending him some of my old Orcs, and he sent me a nice Jeep, an extra Jeep he had, which is great, because I can kit this out as another Ridge Runner. And so the size isn't perfect. My other Ridge Runner is actually already built in its army box, but I'll show you what the bases look like. I didn't paint these bases. I actually ordered these bases, but they are absolutely awesome. So there you go. You can see what the bases look like. Again, going for that kind of cyberpunk feel. So this car fits it. It's a little, almost too big, but it still makes it. Hey, Commander HHL, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, I'm so glad. What Commander HHL is talking about is he took a G.I. Joe toy. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's a Cobra Piranha. I had to look this up, by the way, and he told me. And he kind of converted it to like a boat for Warhammer 40k. So I plan on using it as like my what do they call it? The half tracks now? Centaurs, I guess. So yeah, as you can tell, that the Jeep actually is a decent scale. It will still fit on the base. I think we'll be good there. Yeah, just throw one Heavy Stubber on there and say like 10 boys are kind of like hanging off it. I think it'll be great as a optional transport in case there's a water map. I think that's fun. But yeah, it's absolutely Miami Vice, bro. It's having a speedboat like that. Perfect. All right. So that's what we're looking at today. We're looking at putting a hunter killer on our hellhounds. Finish kit bashing a nice heavy stubber on one of our ridge runners. So you can still have a mining laser and a heavy stubber. I like WYSIWYG, but I'm not crazy. Like, if it's like twin heavy stubbers, I'm not gonna put 2 heavy stubbers. Like I said, I'm not gonna burn through my bits like that. I'll just put 1, you know. Same thing with this Jeep. We'll add a. Actually, so it's kind of cool. If you look at this Jeep, I'm thinking about removing the steering wheel, moving it over to the right side, like they're from a colony. We'll put a. I think I have a Krieg style heavy stubber, like a MagFed from the top, that I'll put over here, and then I'll put a last cannon up here, and I'll put 1 driver, and I'll put 1 guy back here as a spotter. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know about the spotter. Yeah, we'll see. And hopefully, once we get this, we'll get some parts on this, maybe we can actually get some paint on this guy and kind of get him going. So that's what we plan on doing today. We got several hours to do it, so I'm excited. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, hey, throw them in the chat and we'll discuss as we go. All right, let's try and find some pieces for this guy. It's been a long time. I disappeared doing my Tiki things with my Tiki friends for a couple months. I was all over the place, grabbing certifications, additional training. I'm sure there's more insane rumors about me toppling governments. That's not true at all. It's just an old has-been. But I am now technically a fossil hunter, which is kind of cool. I went scuba diving with my spouse, and we've actually recovered, I don't want to say, I guess they're fossils. They're not technically old enough, but they're like megalodon teeth. And a few other fossilized bone fragments, so that's kind of cool. Rock and roll's weapon. That's awesome. Yeah, I was actually, I was always been a fan of G.I. Joe and Cobra, especially the older comics. I thought they were great. Because if you don't know, Larry Hama actually served in the military. They say the G.I. Joe closer to who he was, or kind of represent what he did, was Tunnel Rat. That's always been the one he kind of identifies with the most. But I've always read this since I was a kid. I've always loved him. And I've always been a big fan of like Cobra and stuff like that. I always thought it was kind of cool. And if you ever play XCOM 2, I know Nathan, you know, is a big Nathan X2000, is a fan of the channel. He's a huge XCOM guy. But whenever I play it, you know, with or without mods, you know, the first playthrough I always do a Cobra playthrough, which is pretty cool because your stock guys are all just like Cobra troopers and stuff like that. And then all your guys, let's start really kind of ranking up. You kind of make them all the different people, you know, like Colonel Blood, you know, Destro, the Duchess, and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. Firefly and all those fun guys. It's a fun thing to do. If you played XCOM 2 like the billionth time looking for another excuse to do a playthrough, that's pretty good. All right, so what we're looking for is a good heavy stubber bit. I have a couple. Looking for a good heavy stubber. So this sprue is off of the what do you call it, the Start Collecting box or the Combat Patrol box, and it's from the Atlan Jackals. So you can see the heavy stubber that goes to the quad. We're not going to use that, but we are going to use the ammo box. So we'll go ahead and cut out that ammo box. I had a little bit more of a streamlined heavy stubber, and I think this came off a Goliath. Yeah, this came off a Goliath truck kit. The truck itself I kit bashed into a truck for orcs. About 1,000,000 times easier to build than the damn orc truck kit, or the old one, I guess. I think they have a new one now. They needed one. Now that being said, anyone watching in the stream, I would love to know what is the oldest current widely available Warhammer 40k kit that has been upgraded. Now, I don't know a lot of different armies. I feel like it might be, as far as I'm aware, I feel like it might be the Catachan Jungle Fighter kit, maybe. For a while, it was the weird boy with the Oryx. I know that was an old-ass model. Okay, nice. So we got our heavy stubber. I always kind of want to dry fit. Within reason. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna work fine. Alright, let's trim up these pieces and glue it down. We can get that bad boy in the paint shop. Hey, damn Legion, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? There's no such thing as a Tiki point. You guys kill me. Yep. Yeah, there was another heavy stubber on the Atlan Jackals. It was a little bigger and it had like a hole on the side where it connects, so I didn't want to use that one. I like this one. It's got a nice little like scope on it and stuff like that. I think it's a little bit better. But yeah, for those of you who just joined us, we're chitting and chatting about Warhammer 40k. And currently, what we're talking about is what's the oldest kit that you know of? Ooh, a funny 40k story. Let's see what we got from Grim Tim Tim. One funny 40k story I have is that my first game of 3rd edition. Ooh, before my time. Okay, first game of 3rd edition. I was playing Orcs. Nice, nice. And my opponent was Eldar. Turn 1, he ran his good portion of his force into a choke point that I had 4 Scorches on the other side. Ooh. Oh, hey, thanks, Dan Legion. I appreciate it, brother. Especially coming from you. Yeah, this is our new stream. It's called the Midnight Drive. I'm shifting from promoting Common 47 over to promoting 40k. More importantly, fun 40k. Kind of like a chill version. So I'll be working on my Gene Stealer cult, trying to get my whole army ready and painted by November. I got a big game in Texas. So yeah, I'll be streaming. I stream midnight to 3 a.m. Eastern. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So yeah, I hear combat was a little bit more unforgiving in the older days, which kind of brings the whole question. It was competitive, but in a different way. That being said, I do have a video in the works. It's a spicy one. Usually that's not my style, but I have a feeling. I've talked about it a few times on streams before, talking about ambush rules for bolt action Common 47 and things like that. So I feel like I have a take that's a little different than the standard tabletop wargaming take. So I'm excited to put a video out on it. So I'm working on the script now. It'll take me a little while to put the whole thing together. I work 2 jobs now, in case anyone didn't know that. Not out of a financial need. I mean, money's always good, of course, but no, just out of professional improvement. So I work 2 jobs now. So it'll take me a little time to tinker away at that video. Ooh, Australia machine gun team. Oh, nice. What hats did you go with? Did you go with like the lemon squeezers, or was that the New Zealand style hats? All right, we got our things trimmed off, so let's go ahead and start gluing this bad boy down. I guess did you go for the whole slouch caps, I think? Ooh, that is a good one, Commander H. I think I was actually just about to chop this one off this Jeep because I have a guy that comes with the steering wheel. Yeah, I see a few like actual like 3D prints of speedboats that are like 28 and 32 millimeter, but I think I'm like you. I think I'm gonna go for that Cobra Piranha boat. I think it's gonna be awesome. Never enough lemons, nice. Oh, that's gonna be awesome, damn Legion. Yeah, I don't know if you saw it in Mordian's stream. I took a picture. There weren't very good pictures, mind you, but I took pictures of all my Empire Japan that I finally got. Because I'm trying to organize my hobby area here, so I got all my Empire Japan in one cabinet. It's a pretty big army. And in the corner, there's a whole bunch of like natives. These are my militiamen. So I use like Aztec. I use Aztec kits, natives kit from Frostgrave, and also the Native American kit from ooh, what's that pirate game? I'm trying to think about the top of my head. I cannot think of the name of it. It's sad. It's made right here in Florida. 28mm pirate game. It's the bigger version of Port Royal. I know Port Royal is a smaller version of it, but anyways, I use the 28mm natives from that one. It's a Caribbean style thing, and I use those to make my militia guys. Made me think of your Maoris. Oh man, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, absolutely. When I saw that boat, I was like, oh, I totally gotta do that. That fits my badass little Miami Vice kind of thing. Yeah, so the theme for this army, if you can't tell, I'm trying to do a very cyberpunk Blade Runner style jeans that are cool, very Miami Vice style. I'll try and post some pictures. I'm also going to try to be a little bit more active on Daka Daka as well. I'll post a lot more pictures on Daka Daka. With links, you know, obviously to this to the YouTube channel to Daka Daka, and then I'll post some other pictures like on the post part for YouTube. As far as Conflict 47, I know no one asked, but I do plan on finishing the lore for. I plan on finishing the lore for the first Conflict 47. Second edition, like I said, hopefully no one takes this the wrong way. There's no bad blood. There really isn't. But there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that took Conflict 47 and ran with it, and more power to them. Good on them. A lot of them do it full time, like that's how they make their monies, and I don't want to take anyone's monies. So I'm going to leave that to them to do. There we go. Alright, so I don't want to take their money, so I'm going to leave that to them to cover as long as it takes. You know, I think one of the Black Library guys or whatever, he starts trying to talk about some of the lore. They do it a little differently than I would have done it, but that's cool. That's fine. You know, it takes different types. But I think I'm going to focus on the first edition of Conflict 47, because that's also the one I prefer playing. Alright, so we're going to take this guy, we're going to toss him in the paint booth and give him a coat. And then we will work on kit bashing this guy. Yeah, so I still love bolt action. Bolt action is probably, as far as like gameplay, I think it's probably one of the better ones out there. It's just tight tactical gameplay, and it's great, right? Gasland is probably the most fun. But I do still play Conflict 47. I just prefer to play like mostly bolt action with a little bit of Conflict 47 sprinkled in. Conflict 47 second edition hopefully doesn't set anybody. This is just my opinion. It's just a little too much for me with the specialty dice and all the heroes. Not in a bad way. It's just a little too much like Warhammer 40k as far as needing like something other than order dice and d6s. You know, where Warhammer 40k now has stratagems and, you know, drawing cards for secondaries and all this little bits of extraness, you know. bolt action, you know, when it went to Conflict 47 for 2nd edition, it added the extraness of rift dice and you know, surging and this and that. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea. It's kind of like, to me, comparing Warcraft 2 to Warcraft 3. Both great games in their own rights. I'm talking like sold like hotcakes. Some people have preferences, you know. Yeah, basically, Commander. I really am doing Gaslands at a bigger scale. Yep. Grimton Tim, you nailed it. It's exactly how I feel. The whole phrase like jumping the shark, it jumped the mechanical shark with a laser beam. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people love that. More power to them. Like what you like. That's cool. Not my thing. I like military sci-fi, but I do still like the military part of it, you know? But, like I said, Conflict 47, when I started this channel, no one was talking about it. Not taking credit, please no one think that. I saw some other guys put out lore. I think he did a decent job. I tried to do my take on it by making like a mockumentary. I try to like bring chillness to it. You know, I try to talk a lot of bolt action people into it, you know. Talk some Warhammer 40k people into it. 2nd edition drops, people get excited. It's doing great. I love it. I'm happy. So now I'm going to try and take that same effort and apply it back to 40k and try and bring back the fun mentalities of Mid-Hammer and Old Hammer, you know? Also, if we have time to stream, I do have my 3D printed hippogriffs that came in, but I got mine with tracks. So like 40k hoggos. I'm pretty excited for that. I can start gluing those bad boys together. Hey, Ginny, what's going on? How's it hanging? Hope everything's going good up in y'all's neck of the woods. Your old boy Cosmic shot me like 3 times, by the way. They banned me 3 times in the stream. So it's funny you talk about Gaslands in a big scale, because I have these. I got these from my orc army. It's a Gaslands terrain, but in 28mm scale. So I have these huge, like, Gasland style ramps and stuff, which make awesome terrain, by the way. All right, while that car's in the paint booth, let me get to work on this Jeep here. All right, so for this Jeep, by the way, courtesy of Squid Fist, so we're going to chop off this steering wheel. We're going to move it over here like it's from the colonies, right? The reason why we're doing that is because it gives me a better purchase for our Deathcore Creek style autocannon. I mean, not autocannon, sorry, heavy stubber. We'll have a heavy stubber right there, mag fed. And then up top, we're going to have the last cannon. So, as far as the whole story behind the Necromunda Vice, for you guys just kind of joining us, so the army, especially with 11th, with all different detachment rules, it really let me go crazy, which is cool. So the story of this regiment, for those who are curious, is it's written as the 58th Necromunda Light Armored Reconnaissance. battalion, but it's actually we call it those in the unit call it the 5/8. The reason being is it's combining survivors from the famous 8th Necromunda, the Spiders, with the 5th precinct of the Underhive of Necromunda. And the 5th precinct's a lot of enforcers, a couple ex-gangers, hive scum, and stuff like that. Now, the whole story with it is a Gene Stealer cult unit, but it does fight in the Imperium. And the reason why is they do their best to try and, like, avoid suspicion. And their main thing is they're actually, while technically they fight like their hive cult, which means hive cult's one of the cults or styles of Gene Stealer cult where they decided to target the PDF and the military instead of just like weaponizing the workers, you know? Because it's like, hey, if we're gonna convert people, why not go straight for the military? A little bit more useful. It's actually a little bit more of the Twisted Helix, because if you know the story of Twisted Helix, that cult for the Gene Stealer cult, imagine kind of like the Umbrella Corporation. So, where a lot of cults kind of start with one pure trained Gene Stealer getting on the planet, giving one Gene Steel kiss, and slowly spreading it amongst generation, you know, first, second, third, and fourth generations. What we have now with the Twisted Helix is somebody basically on the Xeno, on the cold trade, on the cold market, sorry. They bought a Xeno, they bought a pure strain, and they learned how to actually refine the Gene Stealer gene sequence without ever having to use the Gene Stealer kiss. And they're actually able to turn it into a chemical that they can inject, for lack of a better term, or disperse into a population to basically foster a Gene Stealer transformation. So with that being said, the story of this unit is that one of the houses, mostly House Escher and whoever else is behind this back on Necromunda, they're funding this unit very well by supplying them with constant medical supplies and medical kits. And the unit trades these medical kits with Immunitorum for a little bit of special treatment, you know, and to make sure that they still maintain and move with all the regiments. Their job is to leave behind a few pure strain Gene Stealers everywhere they go, and also to make sure these drugs and medical supplies and everything get distributed amongst the guard as wide as possible to help kind of spread the Gene Stealer. So that's the story of Necromunda Vice. Vice, you know, kind of being going against like prostitution, you know, drug dealing, things like that. You know, obviously you have Gene Stealers. You know, how are they spreading that? You know, you have the followers who follow along in the army. A lot of times there's bordellos, for lack of a better term, or ladies of the night. So, you know, those are part of our repertoire. Plus all the drugs that all the soldiers use. You know, we kind of cornered that as because there's a lot of House Escher models in this army as well. And then the medkits themselves are also kind of spliced into having Gene Stealer as well. So we're sitting there, we're trying to not arouse suspicion while trying to distribute as much of our illegal narcotics and our legal medkits as much as possible amongst the guard and the population. So it's kind of cool. So with the formation of the unit, what I went for is kind of an approach on the old Marine Corps, because they're changing now. But it was the old Marine Corps Light Armored Reconnaissance, and I went with that because mostly the Hippogriff. The Hippogriff is what changed me. So in this army at like the 2K level, we're going to have 3 Hellhounds, and we're going to have, I think, 2 Hippogriffs. At the 3K level, we actually have a full-on 6 Hippogriffs, which is pretty cool. But we use Casterkins, we use Catachin heavy weapon teams, Hellhounds, and Hippogriffs, because we're a brood brother with, we also use the Xenocult Masses for our neophytes. And as far as being, you know, reconnaissance, a lot of our scouts, like our scout section for the infantry, are all the pure strains, because who's more stealthier than a pure trained Gene Stealer? And they're pretty clever, right? So we use our Casterkin as like our shock troops, you know, 3 squads of them. We use our neophytes as just our regular dog-leg infantry to take and hold objectives, and we use our pure strains to kind of scout and run around. We lean heavy on sniper sanctuses. Again, it's not a very meta list. This is literally just for the vibes, just for the fun. It's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of it. Some of the models look pretty cool. I'll post them as we go along in the YouTube channel in the post section. You'll be able to see them. Alright, so here's the driver. So we're not going to glue him down first. We're going to wait to paint him separately, only because he's so crouched. It'll actually be hard to paint. So here's kind of what the scheme of the army. Here's kind of what the scheme of the army looks like, right? Again, remember, I'm not a regular painter. So we have brown leather boots. They wear blue body gloves. They wear leather jackets. Their armor and web gear is black. Weapons are black. And they wear, what makes them unique is they wear white pauldrons. That's why they're kind of easy to spot. So between the blue, the leather, and the white pauldrons, they're pretty easy to spot out. And they're different types of attire. Because, you know, some of them I'm actually going to be using actual Gene Steeler Colt models, you know, for like the mining lasers and the seismic cannons and things like that. Yeah, so again, I'm not a meta player, but I do still play tactically. So one of the reasons why I'm leaning so heavy with all these light vehicles, something people keep overlooking with the Brood Brother auxiliary is for it's one of your stratagems you can do. It's called Shadow of Iron. And what that is when you're resolving your cult ambush, you can choose to do it within 8 inches of one of your guard vehicles. That's huge. So particularly, that's why I keep my pure strain Gene Stealers units in my army. I keep them in small 5-man teams. They're nowhere near as effective as a big old 10-man blob just slicing through people. I keep them that way because it's cheaper to bring them back for resurgence. So the whole list is that my neophytes can heal with their cult banner. They can heal if they're in cover because of the Xenocult Masses detachment. And I can bring back my small 10-man group of neophytes or my little 5-man group of pure strains with my resurgent points. And I can also pay the CP if I have it available to try and bring back my Castrican squads if they get wiped through the regimental reinforcements. And, you know, and no, and then, and then, and no, and then, and then, and no, and then. And with the regimental reinforcements, because it's still Brood Brother Auxiliary, what a lot of people forget is those regimental reinforcements you bring back through Cult Ambush. Yeah, it's that cool. Yeah, Total Recall is a very Gene Steeler-like movie. Another good movie. So everyone always talks about Event Horizon as like a prequel to 40K, which is not bad. There's another movie out there that gives you pretty good Gene Stealer Cult vibes. Have you ever seen Ghost of Mars? A little cheesy, don't get me wrong, but the all-female police, they definitely kind of look like commissars, you know? And the way the mining people kind of rebel and start fighting, it definitely looks like a Gene Stealer Cult or Chaos Cult. It's actually kind of cool. Alright. So let's start working on the Jeep. Yeah, something else we wanted to add to our Jeep. Ooh, if I can find where I put the pieces. Oh, here they are. So yeah, it's sprues lying everywhere. So one thing I want to add to my Jeep, if you've ever seen old pictures of Vietnam, one thing we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be putting sandbags kind of right where the windshield would be, and that's to kind of like protect the driver from fragment rounds kicking up, or, you know, it's not just people shooting at the driver. The way bullets work is anytime you shoot against like a wall or something flat, bullets have this like really strange pattern of just like skipping and moving along. So if someone like shoots at the hood, the bullet would basically kind of refract back and just go right towards whoever's driving or whoever's sitting in the front. So that's kind of what these sandbags are going to be there, kind of protect the driver a little bit. So we clip these up too. Yes, that is a very young Jason Statham with hair. He is absolutely in that. And it's like the only time those like lava camo pants that they used to sell at like Hot Topic and shit. It's the only time I've ever actually seen those pants blend in with anything. Alright, so we got our 2 sandbags out. course. Oh no. And for the Jeep, for the color of the Jeep, I think we're gonna go black with maybe like purple accents. And for the tanks, it took me a long time to figure out how I want to do my my tanks. This is our Hellhound, obviously. So what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna do my camo net paint job. So I think I'm gonna put down a coat of purple, put the camo net on top, and then do everything in black. So it's gonna be black with like kind of purple camo netting. Hopefully it should look kind of very like Far Cry Blood Dragon style, you know, like very cybery. We'll see how it turns out, you know, best laid plans and all that. I have hopes, I have dreams. They haven't been taken away from me yet. Feels good to come back to streaming, and I'm happy that when I joined, you know, boom, I already had people there waiting to watch the stream. It's definitely an ego booster. I appreciate it, guys. I know I pop out like a dad popping out for milk or cigarettes, and I don't come back for a while, but you know, I'll always come back here and there. As you can tell, he has a little bit more laid back in the stream. Only like I mentioned earlier, it's not a brag or anything. It's just kind of let you guys know what's up. I am gonna be working 2 jobs, so this is absolutely my off-duty time and my chill time. So I plan on doing that a lot more. I'm still the same me. I don't code switch. I don't put on a fake persona. Those who've actually played the tabletop game with me, no, I'm exactly the same. You know, over a talking Tiki head or across the tabletop, you know, I'm the exact same person. But with that being said, with this stream, I'm going to be a lot more laid back, kind of saying what I feel, what I think, you know, using whatever language I want. So it's going to be a lot less reserved than the prior stream. Good at drive-bys. Nice. Dude, GSC dream. I thought it was all just nom 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 nom. So Gene Stealer Cult is a weird thing. So I've read all the novels. They're pretty good. Every battle rep I see, and I understand why, I'm not trying to get political with it, so no one freak out. I think they're just like leaning into it for the memes, which I'm totally okay with. Like I said, I'm okay when people like lean into the Black Templar, like, oh, purge the Xenos. Like, yeah, they're Crusaders. That's cool. That's fine, you know. Or when people jokingly embrace the whole Nurgle thing, I'm like, that's fine. But it seems like a lot of people, when they see the Gene Stealer Cult, they think it's like, you know, like Soviet Union from Comic 47, like, oh, against the proletariat, you know, or against the bourgeoisie, rise of the proletariat, workers unite. I was like, that's like one cult out of like 8 of the different cults. You know, you have the Pauper Princes, which are like super zealots. Think like Game of Thrones, the Sparrows. You know, like that's the Pauper Princes. Nothing to do with like workers or unions or any of that bullshit. It's totally separate. The Hive Cult is just basically military guard and PDF who are just tired of the bullshit of the Imperium. And Twisted Helix talking about is basically Umbrella Corporation. So they're all different. But it seems like everyone in Outlander Claw is very, not so much Mad Max, like they're not crazy like that. The thing with Outlander Claw, so you can do it the Mad Max style, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's actually a Necromunda gang flag that's like the nomad, the Ash nomad, nomads of the Ashland, right? But Outlander Claw is basically these guys and girls have been living outside of the cities and basically away from the Imperium for so long they realize that they don't even really need the Imperium. Like, what is it to them? So then they find these Gene Stealers who actually give them useful stuff. You know, with by mutating into the Gene Stealer Cult, they actually now have a little bit more chitin. Their skin's tougher. You know, they retain nutrients better. They have claws. Like, hey, this actually helps me live out here a lot hardier than just being like a human. So, yeah. So, the reason why I say that is, like, every time you see Gene Stealer Cult, it's always like, oh, workers, union, fight. it's for the memes. It's great. I think it's funny. I really do. But that's not the only type of gene stealer cult. You know, it's like there's like 5 or 6 different cults in the books. So I think it's humorous. That's why I personally am trying to go for more of a, you know, drug, cyberpunk drug dealer chic style thing. Alright, now we are going to clip the steering wheel out. We're going to try and keep it intact so we can use it later in our Commander HHL speedboat. I literally felt that roll out of my hands and right onto the floor. I didn't even move to stop it. I had that defeatism. I'm like, so it begins. So it begins. I'm excited that you're mixing, sounds like you're mixing Fallout and Comic 47, Jenny. That's pretty cool. Some NCR Americans for Comic 47? Alright, so what we're doing now is we're actually getting rid of that steering wheel. Yeah, so, and that's one thing I will say, bragging about the Gene Stealer cult. Price-wise, as far as GW armies, this has to be one of the more affordable armies to get into. So, the Start Collecting box isn't bad for what I wanted to build. Start Collecting box, you get 2 sets of acolytes. You can build them as auto pistol ones with mining tools, or heavy flamers, or metamorphs. There's terms for it like tacos and flacos and stuff like that, but that's kind of more niche. So you get 2 sets of those, which isn't bad. You get a jackal alphas, which is pretty cool. When you attach them to a squad of jackals, they can basically shoot and scoot, which is pretty neat. And she comes with a sniper rifle herself. You get jackals, which are your dirt bike riders and your quad. They're really good because they have the ability to toss out charges when they finish their move to an enemy within range. And then on their shooting phase, they can also do the explosive or grenade stratagem. So basically, you get like you get like a double grenade run, and you can just start throwing mortals wounds like it's going out of style. They're not expensive to bring back with resurgence points, but they're kind of hard to do because you have to bring them in from like a table edge, and you gotta like conga line them. It's kind of a pain in the ass. And you also get a Ridge Runner. So I think currently it sells for like $140. So for $140, you're getting a Ridge Runner, you're getting the 5 Jackals, you're getting the Jackal Alphas, and 2 groups of Acolytes. Now what's cool is you can really kit bash these guys. They're just like Guard, or what Guard used to be. You can kit bash these Acolytes into building whatever you need. Like if you need a Acolyte Icon Ward, you go to GW, that costs like $38, $40 for one character. Bullshit. He has an auto pistol, he's got 3 arms, and he holds a fucking flag, right? Boom. You can make that right there off your sprue. You know, same thing. You want a Nexus, the really cool bodyguards fight first. They got all sorts of cool like close combat weapons. They wear a cloak, so they have all these extra arms. All you gotta do is just take a regular neophyte and just add a couple extra arms to them from the Acolyte kit, and boom, you got a Nexus. So what made Gene Stealer Cult so affordable to me was, let's see if I can find an example here. I just played a game, so my army's kind of packed up right now. But here you go. This is an example right here. I went on Etsy, right? And I got 3D printed characters. So I like WYSIWYG a little bit, so I take a look at what the weapon is, and of course I'm going for more of like a cyber noir style. I read a lot of the Warhammer crime books. They're actually pretty good. So these could be like my Primus, or I have one that has this handout, has like a little globe sitting there, so it's kind of my Nexus. These cost like $5 plus like $3 or $4 in shipping, so it's like $8. We'll call it $9 or $10 with tax and shipping, versus $30 or $40 from GW for one hero character. You can start to see where you start saving a lot of bottle caps doing Genes that are cold. Same thing. I used the cannon fodder box from Wargaming Atlantic. That's where I get a lot of my troops from for my neophytes. They're guys with, it says hybrid firearms. They can be auto guns, shotguns, last guns, doesn't matter. Jenny, if you are looking for some Fallout models from Modiphius, let me know. I have a epic shit ton. Some I got around to building, some I didn't. If you need Fallout stuff, let me know. I was a huge Fallout guy. I finally gave in, and I'm not gonna do it anymore. I did Wasteland Warfare for a little while. I did the RPG for a little while. I'm tired of it. Not a bad thing. I had too many games going, so I had to like make a pick on what stays and what goes. So if you need some, or you're looking for some Fallout stuff, I'll give it to you for a pretty good price. I'm giving away a lot of my Comic 47 stuff, but I will be selling my Fallout stuff. So, because a lot of it's still new in box. All right, so now that we have that trimmed, let's put our heavy stubber on there. But yeah, oh, same thing, like these guys. I got them off Etsy. I got a group of old school tin guardsmen, right? I got these heads from Anvil Industries, so I chopped off all the guard heads and I put on these nice kind of hooded heads with a respirator mask. And then boom, this is 10 neophytes with last guns right here. And if you're really strict about WYSIWYG, now he's got a bolt pistol, not you. There's a guy walking around here somewhere with a Weber, with a web pistol. I'm going to use the Weber. He's around here somewhere. Oh yeah, with the kill team, I used the high scum box and I built a couple extra just regular guys. It's super kit bashable. It's basically what, again, you'll hear me keep saying this. It feels like what Guard used to feel like in 6th and 7th. Very, very approachable, not a lot of like named characters necessarily. That's one thing that really attracted me to Genes that are cold. Even the Guard had like, oh, I'm Solar Lord Macarius or whatever, and you keep seeing him arrive in like every battle, or everybody always has some type of creed. I understand why, it's for the orders, I get it, no shame. But it's just like seeing a Primarch show up to every battle, it kind of gets a little old. I like that the Genes that are cold has no technically named characters. The way it works in the lore is all these special characters come up as part of the generations. You know, depending upon the need of the pure strains on that planet, these characters kind of come from the gene pool during the revolution, you know? Yeah, bolt pistol can be an auto gun, exactly. You can really get kind of creative with some of these guys. But yeah, you have a Kellamorph. He's always like he's a very like Robin Hood style character. He's very big about building morale in for the revolution. You know, does more of your overt assassinations, where your Sanctuses do more of your behind the scenes assassinations. So they're not named characters; they're just like different character types. Same thing. So I plan on using my Ridge Runners as fast attack vehicles. Again, I'm running a light armored reconnaissance battalion. So I have 3 Hellhounds as like my assault armor. I have, hopefully I'm about to get another 3. I'm going to have 6 Hippogriffs, and those are my actual light recon tanks. And then for my fast attack section, I have, you know, currently about 3 Ridge Runners and a couple bikes. checking something real quick. Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. All right. Nice, there we go. Make sure we leave plenty of room for the driver. Dry fit them in real quick. Yeah, Kellamores were awesome. I tried to come into Gene Stealers in 9th. So I left in 8th. I left guard in 8th. I tried to come back in 9th for Crusade. That time your Kellamorph, everyone called him Billy the Nid, and put a cowboy hat on him. He was a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, he was a whole ass menace just by himself. With his three little auto pistols, he was able to take, I think they're called like worm tooth rounds. They had like amazing AP. This dude could walk up and Baba Yaga John Wick like 3 Space Marines, and then basically put a crossfire token on that squad, and then your neophytes could just light that squad up and just absolutely wipe them off the table. Gene Stealer Colt in 9th edition was the Wild West, baby. With the blip tokens and stuff, it was good times. Good times, man. Yeah, Billy the Nid. Oh man, he was great. Sadly, he's been reduced a little bit. I have a model for him. Probably I don't have him in any of my lists, not even my 3K list. But I do have, again, for the vibes, I do have like 3 Sanctus snipers. Because again, it's a recon unit. Yeah, it's like Big Iron, but like 3 of them. So we call them like 3 Iron. Oh, that's another good name for him. Billy and Nid or 3 Iron. 3 Iron's another good name. So the way I'm going to be kind of playing my Gene Stealers is not really as quote-unquote bad guys. I mean, I have no problem being the quote-unquote bad guy. I play Empire Japan, right? I don't mind being bad guys, but I plan on playing them like pretty loyal. Only because, like, yeah, we follow the Emperor too. He just has 4 arms, you know. But also, like, in the interest of their cult, you know, of Necromunda Device, the interest of their cult is for the Imperium to spread from planet to planet, right? So anything they can do to help out, they're all on board. No, I don't want to root. Oh man, this is tough. I want to say something, but I don't want to. Okay, spoiler warning. For those of you who haven't played Rogue Trader yet, or haven't made it very far in Rogue Trader, I will give you 2 minutes before I talk about a spoiler. Yeah, like, talking about what you're saying, Jenny, like, I could, obviously they're aliens, but so are Space Marines. Space Marines aren't even human anymore with all the mutations they go through. Having like 2 stomachs, being able to spit acid, all sorts of weird shit. Like, they're just as mutated as the Gene Stealers are. And you have the Cult of Mars, who's just as wackoo about worshiping a different emperor. So I kind of lump, you know, some Gene Stealer cults in there. They just worship a cooler emperor. Like I always say, imagine the Emperor of Mankind, like, holding Horus up, choking him with 2 hands, and using the other 2 hands to just bitch slap him back and forth. That's way cooler than everybody else's Emperor. Yeah, you say Inquisition, I can tell you this right now. I guarantee you there are some radical Ordo Xenos Inquisitors that absolutely use Gene Stealer cults and weaponize them. I guarantee it. Squid Fist! I'm working on the Jeep right now, buddy. How you doing? Bonsai. My brother on a different tropical climate. How are you? I'm about to glue down some sandbags on this Jeep. It's okay, I forgot I was streaming too, so see? No worries. Nice, there we go. So Squidfist actually sent this Jeep to me. So now we got a heavy stubber, mag fed, and we got a last cam in the back. And we got some sandbags in the front. So I do still want to go for like a very cyberpunky Miami Vice feel, but also want to be somewhat practical. You know, I think that's kind of cool for a Jeep. Here's the driver. We'll dry fit him for now. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add a scout in the back, only because I like to use a spotter with my Ridge Runners. I know a lot of people like to use the auger array and use mortars now to try and remove cover. I get that, but I have Hellhounds, so. Plus, I like to use mine as, again, fast attack vehicle, so I go for the heavy mining laser, which does have blast, by the way. It's pretty cool. Heavy mining laser plus a spotter means he's hitting on 2s, so it's pretty cool. Very nice. Alright, so now let me show you guys. Shit. I'm trying to remember where I got this from. I think I got this from Victoria Miniatures. So as I told you guys, as I build this Gene Stealer Colt army, I saved a good amount of money by repurposing a lot of my bits. I used a lot of my World War II bits from Bolt Action. Some of you guys know I tried to build actually I did build, not tried. I did build a Division. Tom Clancy's a Division tabletop game based upon the Bolt Action rules. So I used a lot of bits from that, including like pistol grip shotguns, you know, those don't change. I use Mad Robot minis, Victoria minis, and Anvil minis to find a lot of my bits. Alright, so I got this, and this is called Tank Crew and Dogs. So you get some pupper doggos, you even get a dog spotter, and you get a few humans. So we're going to clip out this body, and an arm that has binoculars over here. And we're going to try and put that in the back as like a spotter. Right, Jenny? And not just a 3-armed mechanic, but also imagine all of your heavy weapons teams, them all having 3 arms. So imagine holding a heavy stubber with 2 hands and having a 3rd hand to feed the belt. It's like, I don't need an AG, like the 4-armed Emperor is my AG, you know? Die, heretic. Alright, that's a shirt. So I'm also trying to come up with shirt ideas now for the Gene Stealer Colt. I think that's going to be one of them. The Star Child, or the Star God, or the 4-armed Emperor is my AG, and it's just gonna have an Acolyte hybrid with a heavy stubber feeding its own belt. That's a good one. All right, nice. This came off the 3D print actually pretty nice. All right, now we're looking for an arm with a binocular. Yeah, and of all the things out there, I mean, I don't think Junior Cult's that bad. Everyone's like, yeah, but they lie to all their people. You know, when the Tyranids show up, they eat them, they become the biomass. I'm like, technically, that's what they told them the whole time. Like, you're going to become part of the Hive fleet, and technically, your genetics do, your biomass does become part of the fleet. You know, depending if you believe in reincarnation, which there's weird things in the 40K universe, you could come back as the Carnifex. Who knows, right? There's also, what everyone always forgets, there's also the difference between once you overthrow the planet and until you get eaten by the Hive, you have, like, actual freedom. You know what I mean? Like, people forget how bad life is under the Imperium, for good reason. I'm not trying to be with people like, oh, the Imperium's evil. It's not. In a world where there's Dark Eldar who kidnap and torture people, and Tyranids and Orcs, yeah, the Imperium's not a bad choice, right? I get into one of my mini Tiki rants, right? Talking about Fallout Season 2 of that show, I swear to God, is the biggest waste of time. When you see a lot of these, actually, it's actually a current event right now, the Fallout videos. When you see people talk about politics or morality in Fallout, you know, they're talking about Tenpenny Tower. My problem with that is everyone keeps trying to take current day morality and current day politics and apply it to an alternate universe after the nuclear war. Like, nothing counts. It's a whole new thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like saying, here in our timeline, yes, slavery is bad, right? Of course, yeah. We have machinery, and we've now evolved to the point where slavery is bad. In a nuclear apocalypse, is slavery still bad? Maybe. If they can keep people safe. I'm not promoting it, but I'm saying, like, it's just like cannibalism. You know, cannibalism is bad, but if you're in a plane that crashes in the Alps and everybody's dead and you're the only person, are you going to cook and eat people? How long until cannibalism starts looking kind of friendly? So what I'm saying with that, everyone's like, oh my God, it's defending slavery. No, I'm saying you can't apply modern day politics and morality to a post-apocalyptic alternate setting. You have to look at it from the lens of the setting. It's the same thing, and I swear to God, it's just as bad with YouTube and Reddit. Oh my God, Reddit. I'm so glad I deleted my Reddit. BioShock. Sweet four-armed Emperor of Glory, fucking BioShock. And the people are like, oh, you know, Iran was wrong. That type of thing doesn't work. See, this is why that doesn't work, and you gotta have this, and it was a big failure of capitalism. What kills me about BioShock that a lot of these videos get wrong, go out and watch some of these, like, political mild takes on BioShock. Regardless of what your politics are, again, I'm not here to sway you, but just know what you're talking about. It's for anyone who hasn't played BioShock, right? Long story short, a dude survives the Russian Revolution, sees the massacre there, says fuck that, moves to America. He's like, I'm glad I'm not a communist. You know, I saw the Bolsheviks slaughter people, you know, that's a terrible idea. Moves to America, lucky enough to strike oil, so he starts getting money. The government starts taxing his money. He's like, well, I don't like that either. So he's like, I'm just gonna be my own thing, right? So he goes out there and he builds his own city underwater. I'm cutting very, very to the cloth here, very, very short, right? The biggest thing with BioShock is while he's down there, everyone's like, oh, it doesn't work because see, this guy takes over, and everyone's forgetting. It kind of worked up until they discovered the sea slugs. The sea slugs, one of the guys working outside the city fucked up his hands. The sea slug got on it, it kind of bled on it, and he started healing a little bit better. So they investigated the sea slug, turned out to have this weird kind of enzyme that allows you to heal very rapidly. One way or another, they figured out that they can grow these sea slugs inside of female children, and they're able to kind of harness Adam, and they can use Adam to literally rewrite your DNA. And then by rewriting your DNA, they're able to give people these things called plasmids. Plasmids are basically like mutated abilities. Like you can cast fire, you can cast electricity, you can, you know, cast bees. What else is there, guys? Like wind, lightning, you can take over security systems. All these cool kind of mutated abilities, right? And they're like, yeah, so see, when you do this type of the type of government that he had, you know, it led to civil war, and they all slaughtered each other. So see, it doesn't work. I was like, but you can't apply that to our politics and our morality, because the second those guys started splicing, they're not humans. They're not Homo sapiens. It's basically like superheroes, or it's like X-Men. You have a whole underwater city of mutants trapped in a glass city with superpowers. So yeah, it evolved, and of course, the more you use the plasmids, the more it affected your mental capacity too. So yeah, now you have a bunch of jacked up, crazy super meth addicts with superhero powers, and it led to a civil war. They destroyed themselves, which is funny because you look at X-Men, you know, because it's the whole story is like an ongoing civil war between Magneto's Brotherhood and Charles Xavier's School of Gifted Mutants. You even look at the Avengers. Here's a whole bunch of superheroes, right? And even the quote-unquote good superheroes, they have a civil war based upon registry. So it's almost like if you give people a whole bunch of special powers, it transcends our current human understanding of morality and politics, and it usually devolves into civil war and a jockeying for power. Sorry to go on a huge rant. I don't know, it's been bugging me for a while. So it's the same thing with 40K. People will take like their current day politics and morality and apply it to a fictional grimdark universe where there's multiple different alien species and different sects of humans and mutants, and they're all fighting each other. I'm like, that doesn't count. It's, yes, I would happily accept tyranny and a boot on my neck, and it meant the boot on my neck is, you know, the Imperium and not an orc boot, you know, or a Dark Eldar boot, which is probably a pointy boot with spikes. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're gonna get shafted one way or the other. Oh, you built the Wrecker Crew, nice! In the next box, I'll put the cards for him, man. Wait, this is a Tiki stream? Yeah. Cast beats. Yeah, so thanks guys, sorry about that, I went off on a little rant there. Just 'cause I was talking about, you know, Gene Sitter cult, and some people try to apply their current day politics and morality to it. I just want to get that knocked out of the way. That's something that always drives me crazy. Especially Bioshock, man. Bioshock is the worst. People are like, oh, see, that didn't work. I was like, it's an underwater glass city where they can't escape and they all have superpowers. What the fuck do you think was gonna happen? So anyways, yeah, I was talking to Gene Sitter Cole because, you know, once they quote-unquote overthrow or whatever, they're usually pretty peaceful until they get eaten. And yeah, no one technically wants to get eaten by a giant hive fleet, sure, but those few months or years that they're peaceful, that's way better than their whole rest of their life ever had in the Imperium. Nice, Squid Fist. Yeah, in the next box, I got the cards for those guys too, in case you want to use those. Yeah, the Wrecker Crew is kind of cool. I like the little rocket pistols and stuff like that. They're pretty neat. So those are some of the orcs I kept. I kept my warlord that I built, my Tiki speed boss guy, on a I forgot what that vehicle's called. I kept one truck, the one you sent me, Squid Fist, with the digital red camo. I kept the 10. I kept the 11 orc boys that Squig Hunter Sean painted for me. And then I kept all my commandos. I have a soft spot for orc commandos, so I kept all my commandos. I'm sorry, I had a lot of them. Alright, let's find a good head for this guy. He's a spotter, so I definitely think we want something with a radio beacon. But nothing too military. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking through my sprues. These are my ones from my Brood Brother kill team. Yeah, so they eventually learn the true horror depending on... So what I've read is depending on what kind of cult it is, sometimes they're convinced the whole way through, and then at the very end they all freak out and stuff like that, and then they all get eaten. Some of the cults are crazy. Like I said, like the Pauper Princes. They know they're going to get eaten. They don't give a shit. They're absolutely crazy. Like I said, they're like the Sparrows from Game of Thrones. Like, they're all on board. They don't give a shit. They're like absolutely zealous priests. They're crazy, crazy, crazy. And usually places like the Hive Cult, they don't care because usually, I'm sure they get eaten eventually, but it's more advantageous for the Hive Fleet to let the Hive Cult go and just join other PDF and guard units and just keep spreading the cult. So if you're ever going to be a gene stealer, I'm telling you, Brood Brother Auxiliary, Hive Cult, that's probably the way to go. You're probably the safest. Alright, let's look for we want a gene stealer head maybe. Nice. Alright, I got a good one. We were looking for a gene stealer head, but we wanted like a radio. Like we wanted a mic and like a little antenna. Because he is going to be our spotter. Focus, camera. Focus. Alright, there we go. Yeah, no, same thing. Yeah, in the ag world, it's not that bad. You know, you're probably gonna be pretty good. And there are some worlds where like the cult's taken over, and no one cares. Like, I guarantee you, there's some worlds that, because once the cult takes over, it kind of drops because it's a hive cult, like a hive mind. Crime kind of goes away, and their production levels go through the roof. So I guarantee you, there's plenty of worlds that they know our Gene Stealer's cult, and they're like, yeah, just don't touch it. Like, we know it's a Gene Stealer cult, we'll come around to it eventually, but right now they're like plus 30% production, so just leave it alone. Ah, that's one of the other cults, the Bladed Cog. They're the ones that usually work with the Cult of Mars as well. I'm going to trim this head a little bit to fit in the torso. But yeah, I guess it wouldn't be a Tiki stream without a Tiki rant. Sorry about that, guys. But as you can tell, I didn't mention any politics. So I talked about games. I talked about what people talk about. But notice how I didn't actually mention any different type of political thing. It's just the silliness of people applying modern day sensibilities to, you know, situations that absolutely are not applicable. Alright, I'm just trimming this head down a little bit so I can get it to fit the torso. But yeah, I plan on doing a lot of super laid back Gene Stealer cult lore videos. Just talking about the flavor and the vibe. I'm really talking about like what they can take or what's the best kind of thing. Same thing here, Squid Fist. I had to do a huge purge. I had to purge the Oryx, set up the Imperial Japanese in one cabinet so I can get ready for all this Gene Stealer cult. I'm hoping to have 2K painted and ready by November. And if I'm lucky, maybe I'll have 3K. I have a lot of the models already. I just gotta build them and paint them. So yeah, all we're doing now is just trimming down the little bulbous neck part. Yeah, if you want jeans in the cold, check out the Imperial Navy. I guarantee you, in the lower decks and like the mortal fuel area, you know, all the people who work like in the engine rooms, all that other kind of stuff. Oh, sorry, that's right. I said spoiler alert for Rogue Trader. It's on the cover of one of the DLCs, so it's not that much of a spoiler. You run across the jeans circle. It's funny because I was playing, I was like, I think I know what this is. You know, I've read all the codex and I'm like, I feel like it's gonna be jeans circle, and it was. And then like something else happened. I was like, congratulations, you beat them. I was like, I don't think I did. I was like, they're not that easily beaten. And sure enough, they came back. But my character on Rogue Trader absolutely uses a Weber. So how's everybody doing on this midnight drive? Anybody at work? People just chilling at home? How am I catching you guys? Hey Matthew, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, Rogue Trader, it was slow to get into. It was slow, but once you get into it, it gets real good. So hopefully I can try and keep you awake with these nice vaporwave tunes and the awkward sound of my voice. Hopefully we're able to keep you awake at work here. We're talking about some jeans that are Colts. Nice, yeah, Jenny. You seem like you're like me. You always seem like you're working, so I'm glad to see you taking a day off. I know it's well earned because I always see that you're working. I hope you truly enjoy it. And you know, if I get any of you guys excited about what we're doing here, remember, if you already play guard, Jeans That Are Cold is only a few models away. Go check out Etsy, find some cool hero models that can count for Jeans That Are Cold. You know, maybe pick up a box of cannon fodder or something else for some cheap neophytes. And you are already on your way. So I was hanging out on. If you guys don't know, for Jeans That Are Cold, there's a guy called Floof. Let me link his YouTube channel. So there's a couple different really good Jeans That Are Cold channels out there. Like everyone likes Von Carlson, the vampire PNG YouTuber, what do they call it? He's not bad. I like him. But there's another guy called Floof. Floof, he's a cool dude. He's a funny dude, and he knows his shit. He is really, really, really good about knowing his stuff. So let me try and find his. Here it is. Nexus Floof. Let me link his channel here. This guy's awesome, right? So he was talking about all the different types of attachments, right? You know. Yeah. Yeah, that game was legendary. If you haven't seen that one, you can find. All right, hold on, let me go find that one. All right, there's the battle report. Absolutely. Like I said, it's exactly what it is. Two really good Titan players just who know their forces, who actually have fun too. It's not all just like, oh, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. These guys are actually having a blast, figuring stuff out, and just it just looks like two armies that just absolutely beat the shit out of each other, and it's great to watch. Anyways, next is Sloop. He knows what he's talking about. He's a pretty cool guy. His Brood Brother auxiliary list is terrifying. Oh, thanks. Hey, thanks, Commander HHL. I appreciate it. So, his list, oh, sweet Jesus, is Brood Brother auxiliary and Xenocult Masses, just like mine. Xenocult Masses with booster neophytes. This guy maxes out his neophytes and then maxes out his Krieg, Death Corps of Krieg. So, I think that's like over like 200, maybe 250 just straight infantry. Neophyte squads, 20-man blobs, and Death Corps of Krieg. No characters, no heroes, no tanks, just fucking wave after wave. You missed the old like 7th, 6th edition send in the next wave? There it is. That is your send in the next wave. Nothing but neophytes and Death Corps of Krieg. And the Xenocult Masses make it to where your neophytes are hard to kill because they already have the cult icons, so they can bring guys back. And if they're inside of terrain, they automatically bring back 3 guys. So those are the ones you take to hold something, and then you need to send the Kriegers up. It's insane. Plus you have your resurgence points, your regimental reserves. Krieg are already hard enough to kill. It's just bodies. So if in the middle of the night, if your ultimate dream of pure happiness is someone blowing that whistle and you going over the trench, you know, that's it. That's the army for you. Try that. Try that. And again, I know it's expensive. I know, like, where am I going to get all these bodies? Wargame Atlantic. Cannon fodder. There's your neophytes. Much more approachable and affordable. And you can absolutely have an insane send in the next wave. Alright, here's our spotter. I did, Squidfist. I have a healthy amount of Alarm Boys, and I'm actually using them to build a kill team, a kill team for the Imperial Guard, like the old Death Corps of Krieg kill team. So that way I have something to fight my my Brood Brother kill team. I can do kill team on kill team. Because, you know, you get the options, like, hey, you can take all these special weapons, then for, like, the last thing, what do you want to take? I want to take, like, just the extra troops. Nice, Commander HHL. Hey, I hope the pub has what you want on tap, and I hope it's cold, man. I appreciate you watching the stream. But yeah, next is Flute, man. If you want to get into GSE, it's a fun guy to watch. He knows his stuff. Alright, so we're not gluing down this guy because he's going to be easier to paint by himself. This guy's standing, that's not going to be too hard, so we'll actually glue him down. We just got to figure out exactly what pose we kind of want him in. Those we want. But yeah, between 3D printed models on Etsy, picking up a few lots, like I said, you got those tin guards over there I picked up cheap on eBay, and Wargaming Atlantic, I was able to build up a so all of that plus the start collecting boxes. I did wait to get those when they were at a good price, and I was able to build up a impressive little Gene Stealer cult army pretty quickly. Same thing, my tanks, my vehicles, most of them are all, you know, knockoff 3D printed. Once I get this guy glued on here, we'll glue our 100 kilo missile on our Hellhounds, and then I'll bust out my Hippogriffs so you guys can see what the Hagas look like. There you go, nice. So you can see he's here. Hold on, let me lower that light so you can see a little bit better. So you can tell he's just kind of just like mad chilling on the back of it. He's got his binoculars with a spotter. My brother plays Votan, Jenny, and so in case you guys didn't know, that's what I'll be doing in November. I got my brother into Warhammer 40k. And I'm very excited that I did. He's loving it. He's having a great time. He's a super cool dude. Super older brother. Super cool dude, right? He's got a group of friends up there too, and they're all kind of playing it. I say we're all around their age. They're older than I am, but you know, like 40s, 30s, that kind of thing. So I'm excited to travel over to Texas because I'm going to play all them 40k. So I'm super excited about that. So I'm traveling over there in November, and we're going to get a lot of games of 40k in. And I've never gotten to play my brother 40k. So I'm really excited about that. He plays Votan, he has Necrons, and he's starting Orcs. Forest Space Wolves? Oh, that is so cool. I like it. But like I said, I do plan on hopefully doing a 40k event, but I'll be doing it up in Indiana, I think, like kind of near the Indiana-Kentucky border. So that way, because I'm down here in Florida, but if I'm doing it up there, it's kind of more centrally located. So I'm hoping maybe I can get some people from Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Michigan, stuff like that. Hopefully I can get like a bigger group of people. We're going to try and get Cosmic to show up. So, Jenny, if you're in that area, it'd be cool to see you too. What I want to do is I want to do a cool 40k game. Either like a big Guard Civil War, kind of think like Necropolis, like Fahrenheit kind of thing, you know? Like huge guard on guard kind of thing. Or maybe we could do some of that kind of big, fun narrative battle. Do like a nice 2-day event. I found a really cool hotel, affordable, low price. It's got a pool, it's got a bar, it's got a huge meeting area. It's in a very small town, so it's never full. The rooms are nice, and it's never really that busy. So it's kind of perfect for what we want to do. All right. All right, let me hit this with another spray of paint, and we'll take our car out of the paint shop. So for those of you who may not see it, we kind of have like a, kind of looks like a knockoff Mustang Fastback DeLorean kind of vehicle that we're kind of painting currently right now. We'll bring it over here once it's fully done. I want to say check Mad Robot Minis or Anvil Industries, and they have a lot of tricorn hats. They have like British Redcoat style. They have colonial style, and they also have, they're called Reavers. It's a colonial tricorn, but with a face covering as well. So that might work for you too, to get a little bit of difference in there. I think it's Anvil. Yeah, I think it's Anvil that has those. Grim Tim Tim. I like that. So I'm using the Space Dom guys from Wargaming Atlantic, and those are going to be my Casterkins. And my and the reason being for my whole lore is those are the survivors of the 8th Necromunda, the spiders. So they're going to have that classic kind of camouflage of gray with black stripes and black armor. And those are my my Casterkin squads. That way they definitely look different from my Neophytes. There's no confusing the two. Absolutely, 88 miles per hour. I love it. All right, guys. So we got our Jeep going pretty well. Now let's push it a little bit over here. Remember, we're gonna keep our driver not glued in. All right, now we got our Hellhound. So originally, in 10th edition, I was running with Bane Wolves mostly for the flavor. I just thought toxic cannons were kind of cool. But now that I'm kind of taking the lore, not more serious, but I'm kind of leaning into the military side of the lore. With these guys being a light armored reconnaissance battalion, I want them to be urban warfare specialists who excel at counter recon and counterinsurgency. So with them being urban warfare specialists, especially because they have pure strain gene sealers. I mean, imagine how easy it is to clear hab to hab when you have pure strains. But with them to have that, I wanted to keep it flamers. So I put back on the Inferno cannons for these. So these are my Hellhounds. I went with the heavy bolter in the front and Inferno cannon on top. I like it because if you think about urban warfare, especially like in a grid system, the tank can move up and cast the Inferno cannon, the flamer, up and down the alleyways, while the heavy bolter maintains long ways down the road to shoot anyone who kind of crosses that road. So that's kind of nice. So the reason why I got it out is we're going to add these 100 killer missiles. Picked up off of Etsy. I think I paid $5 for like 5 of them. Can't beat that. Yeah, so and I think I'm going to put some Dozer blades on my Hellhounds. I'm going to use them as like my assault tanks. Just like my Casterkin or like my assault infantry, you know? Alright, let me glue this bad boy on here. Open tomorrow, we'll start painting our tanks. Today, we may start painting our Ridge Runner a little bit, and if there's time, we'll start gluing our hippogriffs. So for our tanks, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit it with a nice thick coat of purple paint, and we're gonna put that a netting on top, and then we're gonna hit the whole thing with black. So that way we get like the reverse netting effect for like a camouflage. In my head, which is a scary place, but in my head it should look cool. Alright, there we go. Single shot 100 killer. So do I, yeah. For those of you who did see my Empire of Japan collection, a lot of tanks, a lot of infantry, but a lot of Chiha tanks. Squidfist, anything you send me, brother. I know we're far away, so don't feel like you gotta fill up the boxes. But anything you send me, I appreciate. Just know I'm not done sending you a wall in a box, buddy. You have a lot more shit coming to you. But yeah, when in doubt, I am leaning more towards a military, urban warfare / like Miami Vice style. So if that helps. All right, so I already put the gun. It comes with a heavy stubber. I'm going to chop the heavy stubber off right there. So the variant I'm going for has the what is it? Vigilance battle cannon. What its tiny little battle cannon is, and I'm going with the Melta. Doing that again for the urban warfare vibes. You know, it has the cannon so it can shoot and scoot up and down, you know, streets. And then the Melta for anything that gets too close or if it needs to help infantry by blowing a hole in the door, you know. Tank body, nothing too crazy. And here are the little treads. I definitely went with the tread option. It's actually pretty cool. They give me all the different sprues and bits. I have all sorts of cool weaponry if I want to use it. Yeah, I went with the tread option because I like light tanks. Not just Hagos. Of course, everyone, it's a meme. Everyone knows how much I love my Type 95 Hago, but what a lot of people know is I absolutely love the Sheridan, which, yes, I know it's not technically a tank. It's an armored airborne assault vehicle, whatever, you know, but I do love the Sheridan. I love the Chaffee. I love the Locust. I like the Tetrarch. I like the Scorpion family with, you know, the Scimitar, Scorpion, Samson, Spartan, that whole CRVT line. You know, I really like light tanks. I don't know what it is. I'm a huge fan of light tanks. Alright, so let's get these guys moving on here. Hey, old game dad, what's going on? We were just gluing a little tank together. Man, this is not one to go on. It'd be a pain in the ass to glue. Yeah. Well, it's me because I only ever use super glue. It's the only kind of glue I use. I just like super glue, so. I'm sure there's a better type of glue to use. I'm just not doing it. Like, I know when I'm the problem. You know, like as much as I want a bitch, I know when it's me. You know, so I'm like, it's not their fault. All right, let me get this other tread on, and then we'll get the turret on. Yeah, I don't know. I get it like giddy even when I see him in person. I don't know what it is. I just really enjoy light tanks. I think they're the coolest thing in the world. It's like that whole Simpsons meme, like Marge. Like, I just think they're neat. That's exactly what it is. But, and hey, even Morning Glory kind of agreed. Like, of all the factions to like enjoy light tanks, it makes sense for the Gene Stealer cult. You know. Down at the pub, drinking and lurking, nice. Speaking of live vehicle, put together a U.S. Armored Cavalry Recon Force, nice. Nice. Hey, Grim Tim, if you need another inmate, let me know. I got an unopened box if you need one. I'm not trying to like bribe you guys, like, oh, watch my stream, I'll give you things. I'm just trying to make room in my damn hobby closet. I'm giving away all my bolt action and conflict 47 that's not Imperial Japanese. So it's a lot. A lot of OG models too. In the good edition. I mean original edition, sorry. I said what I said. Where is my file? Where's my super suits? Where did I put my file? Ooh, nice. There it is. Perfect. So there you go, just a dry fitting. That's what the tank looks like. It is a baby little tank. It almost looks like the little tanks from like the old, you guys remember like the arcade game like Tank Wars, like back when it was like OG Star Fox style graphics, like just like wireframe graphics. So that kind of reminds me of. I'm gonna leave the turret unglued, that way I can like kind of turn it as I need, you know? Sorry. Well, and like I said, I think I talked about it in my test stream, but something I always enjoyed about the first Conflict 47 is there was a lore reason for walkers. Walkers didn't replace tanks. Tanks were basically, most of your tanks basically became tank destroyers. They filled that whole TD route, and walker destroyers. Where walkers, their big benefit was they had all the round armor facings. And that's what made them so, and they're bipedal, so that's what made them so useful in urban warfare. They had 2 arms usually, they had different types of weaponry, so they were much more effective in an urban environment. You know, with the all-around armor protection, plus they could like step over things, you know, they could step over any kind of blockages on the road and stuff. So basically like your mechs were used for urban warfare, or the super heavy mechs were used for like massive artillery, you know? But for everything else, like for open country engagement, you would still use tanks. You know, it's like in the OG Conflict 47, they made that distinction between the two. It's kind of cool. Let me glue this, let me follow this down a little more, then I'll glue this weapon in. Yeah, so on these tanks, because these are like my little scout tanks, I'm going to have a whole bunch of like fuel canisters on the back, backpacks, like Google Sheridan's, you know, what's that, M155 or something like that. Google what Sheridan tanks look like, and like Desert Shield, Desert Storm, that whole kind of thing is kind of what I'm going for. Nice, I love it. Cavalry Stetson, that's pretty cool. I see what you did there, Squid Fist. I, for one, unlike many other people, I, for one, appreciate a damn good pun. So, I think, again, another Tiki rant. I'm sorry, guys. I have been working a lot, kind of stuck only with my spouse, who I guarantee is probably tired of me. But, so I have, like, all these ideas in my head that I've just been, like, waiting to talk about, so. One of my other unrequested opinions. I love puns. I know some people don't think like punning is very clever, but I think puns show a remarkable understanding and grasp of a language. You know, to understand idioms and to be able to use a pun. I think it shows that you understand the language very well. So that's why I don't know why some people are like, oh, punning is lowbrow comedy. I was like, I think it's great. But then again, I like Shakespeare, so the hell do I know? Thanks a lot. Nice, Jenny. Sorry guys, that was louder than I thought it was. I thought I was muted. I apologize for that. So what I did is I chopped off the stubber barrel and I left that there so it actually looks like a little Belta, and I'll just paint that, you know, my Balthazar gold and hit it with a Agrax Earth Shade, and it's gonna look like a nice little melta barrel. we go. That's our little Warhammer 40k Hago. Super small little tank. I love it. I've been missing your stream. Ah, man. Make me feel good, Squidfist. I appreciate it. Alright. Let me take a look at the car, hit it with another paint here pretty soon. Well, actually, let me finish building that guy. I gotta figure out how I want to do his canopy. So I don't know, chat. What do you guys think? Should I put someone in the actual tank chart? I mean, I have the things for it. You know, I could put someone in there. I have some bodies I can spare. You know, I could put some people in there, like some tank commanders. But that's the thing, is they're not guards, so none of these tanks are going to be tank commanders. So I don't think it really makes sense to show anyone kind of leaning out of the turret, really, you know? And again, especially not in urban warfare, I can tell you that right now. There is no turnout in a city. It is button up or die. You know what I mean? Like, you're begging for someone for a promotion board to pop off from a rooftop somewhere, and your driver is suddenly going to become a tank commander. Yeah, exactly. For those who don't know, like I play a few video games out there. Like I said, I play Ready or Not, Dark Tide, Helldivers 2, you know. But one of my loves is Enlisted. I play a lot of Enlisted. I haven't played it in a while, but I play with my buddies, and I always warn them about tanks. I was like, look, I'll play with my older brother. We did a nice combined arms section where I had a lot of light submachine gun infantry, and I was covering his tank, and we were doing pretty well. But I kept telling him, I was like, you gotta stop sticking out of the tank. He's like, well, I can't see anything. I was like, I'm telling you, you stick your commander outside that tank, is gonna get shot. Sure shit, he popped his head out and got absolutely domed. Tank Riders is not a bad idea. I may do that. Luckily, one of the kits I had came with some Tank Riders. Alright, there we go. That is because I'm not gluing the turret down. So there we go. That is a hippogriff. So back here is probably where I'll put the little the jerry can thing. I'll put some jerry cans there. Probably put some backpacks there. Maybe like a rifle or a shotgun right there, you know. Like, imagine that for urban settings, you know? Like, alright, hold on, you know, you gotta dismount, you know, now you kill it, now you ain't kind of thing. So. No worries with this. But I did talk to the missus, my better half. A trip to Hawaii is definitely not out of the possibility for us. We went, but she got really sick when we went, so she didn't really get to enjoy it. So we want to go back again. So when that trip comes up, Squidfist, we will reach out to you ahead of time. And if I'm coming out all the way to your neck of the woods, sorry, I didn't mean to dox you, buddy. I'm sorry. I said what state you're in. My bad. But when I come out to your neck of the woods, buddy, I'm absolutely gonna take the time to come out and see you and play some 40K. Let's pull our little Hago tank back, and let's take a look at our car here. I think we got one or two more codes, but it is a productive stream. It may not look it. It may look like, I just keep seeing the same models. We don't see as we are busy over here, ladies and gentlemen. We are painting, we are doing things. Alright, our car is almost dry and ready. Yeah, the Talarn are great. Man, they're always one of my favorite regiments back in the day. I do like Savlar Kim dogs, but I'm basically that is GSE. Like the way I'm running mine, my Necromunda Vice, Savlar Kim dogs, stealing everything. That kind of tracks. I still have a soft spot for my my Fantine Skyborn, my Elysians I ran in the 8th, but the Necromunda 8th, and that's actually my my computer background too. Is the Necromunda 8th picture. I love it. Even in Dark Tide, I have like my veteran and like Necromunda 8 style camo. It's pretty cool. Alright, while we're waiting on that car to drive, let's crank out another Space Hoggo. Gonna parallel park this bad boy right here. Yeah, these things were like, as you can tell, it's probably not the best. I mean, they look very, I'm not gonna lie, they look kind of cheap, and that's okay with me. I don't, it's toy soldiers, so I don't really care. But I paid what they look like. I think these were like 15 or 20 bucks a pop. I'm okay with that, you know? Got it from Rogue Sculpts from Etsy. Check them out if you like it. Matter of fact, I will put a link to it. As you guys know, actually there may be some new people watching. I think everyone's here as a veteran of the old stream. My stuff's always not for profit. I'm gonna fix my store and put new stuff out there for you guys. But everything I do is not for profit. I do this shit just for the love of the game, just for fun. So when I recommend these places, I don't get a kickback or a cut. It's just me recommending it. I'm like, hey guys, you know, check this place out. It's got cool shit. In case there's any kind of confusion, I always want to make sure I say that. Alright, there they are, Rogue Sculpts. That's where I got these little hippogriffs. You can get hippogriffs with the wheels or the treads. I pick treads. Yeah, Matthew Gordon, actually what you're describing, it sounds a lot like to me, damn, there's a Japanese video game. It's almost very Conflict 47 like. I'm trying to think what it's called. Valkyria Chronicles. That's what that kind of reminds me of, where it's like a mixture of like gothic World War II, but with like weaponry and stuff like that. They had like plate mail and shit like that. It was pretty cool. Cannon with a heavy stubber. Alright. If you're headed out, Jenny, take it easy. I hope you sleep well. Ooh, here's the option with double Melta. Melta cannon and Melta gun. Always an option you could do. Yeah, for like 15 or 20 bucks, man, it is not bad. They give you everything you could ever want. I like that they give you all the weapon options too. Last cannon with Melta. Not a bad combo. Long range, short range. The DAC combo, the miniature Punisher cannon with a heavy stubber. Throw out some shots. Call the T-Pain the shot. Alright, let me pull off the hatch. Take which gun option we're using. Same thing, I'm gonna go battle cannon. We'll cut this part off and turn it into a Melta. Not bad. We're getting some painting done. We're getting some building done. It's a damn productive stream. I am a fan. All right, let's go and start building another one. I think once I get this one built, I'll take a quick little break to grab a drink. And we'll get right back to it. Hopefully we'll get our car done. I really would like to get the windows painted, I think, on it tonight. I want to see what that purple looks like with the white body. Pretty excited. But I plan on this being my long-term 40k army. Regardless of what the additions do, you know, they've been around for a little while. They seem kind of fun. They're always going to be kind of niche. Very my style, you know. It's funny. I like the GLA from Queen Carcass General. The IGA kind of play a lot like them, especially a newer version of Bolt Action Column 47. You know, so I'm starting to really kind of find my niche. Probably why I like your Talaran Desert Raider so much. It's my style, you know. The other side going, we got treads on one side. The other benefit of doing 3D printed models, a little bit cheaper than GW, plus they go together a hell of a lot faster. And as a grown man who works a lot, I'm okay with that. Don't get me wrong, I like the build. Like I said, you know, I like kit bashing my infantry and making sure, you know, everybody has all the right equipment and stuff like that. I'm very WYSIWYG, but I don't mind a vehicle kit that goes together nicely and quickly. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Oh, nice. Yeah, dude, I love it. It's already taking effect, man. Chill Hammer, it's coming back. Yeah, bring back all your old fun stuff. Whatever was fun to play. Who cares how strong it is or what's meta? What's this? Yeah, who gives a shit? You know, just like bring back what you love. Bring back what you're excited to paint. What brings a smile on your face? Like, what are you happy about putting on the tabletop? Or what represents you on the tabletop? Yeah, bring that. Bring it back. Take it easy, Jenny. Alright, boys, we got our treads on. I love how it's just a super little, simple, easy 3-man tank. You got a driver. Probably you have a driver, man, not even bow gunner. No, it's probably a gunner, actually, because the commander's busy doing something. Actually, you probably have a driver, like a radio man, assistant driver, and then the commander's probably also the gunner. And these small little 3-man tanks, I feel like it's what it is. Yeah, I swear to God, the old orc truck kit, that thing almost broke me. I was like, you've got to be shitting me. It was from that day on, I was like, that's it. We're going Etsy hunting and just buying beat up old rhinos and turning those into trucks. We're not doing that, gang. That thing was ridiculous. I'm talking, you're like putting down the chassis, putting down the drive chain, the radiator. I was like, we're not doing this. So I had one orc truck, one orc Goliath truck, and then my other 4 were rhinos. Those were the 6 trucks I had. For those who's watching, we're just muted because I'm filing down this piece of 3D printed plastic so I can get the fit right. Oh yeah, not the old Gorka Morka trucks, which, speaking of, Squidfist, I found one. I'm going to throw it in the kit for you. An old, like, Gorka Morka style flatbed buggy. No, Grim Tim, I'm talking about the newer edition. I think they came out with a new one, so probably not the newest orc truck, but the one before that. That thing was an absolute beast to build. I mean, it had cool things. It had boarding ladders, a wrecker ball. It had all sorts of cool stuff on it. That was the first orc vehicle I built, and I learned the lesson of don't follow the rules. I saved like 30% of those bits to put on other vehicles to make them more orky. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be excited to run these hippogriffs. I love that they can shoot and scoot. I think that's pretty damn cool. Alright, let me glue this turret in here, and we'll be good to go. And we just gotta glue a little cover on. So, in all honesty, what do you guys think of the new vibe? The new, you know, I want to do something a little bit different. I still love my old style stuff, don't get me wrong, but something different than the old Too Late Tonight. How you guys feeling about the whole, like, Necromunda Vice, the Vaporwave, the music, the overlay? You guys fans? You think it's cool? You think it's lame? I love y'all's feedback. I won't be upset, don't worry. Oh no, obviously, fair enough. No, I had some of those older ones, Grimton Tim. I had some of those old. I have a first edition or an older Rhino, and I have an old Gorka Morka truck. The Rhino's still in good shape. I just mostly use it as like tabletop debris terrain. I just put like one of my little destroyed markers on it, the little like black smoke with the electronic candle. I'm glad you like it, Matthew. Thanks, man. Yeah, really leaning hard into the whole, like, I keep saying it, like, cyberpunk, Blade Runner, Miami Vice kind of vibe. Which I do want to recommend. One of the many ways I got the idea for it, if you guys have not read it, if you're looking for your next, you know, book, or maybe audiobook if that's your fancy, you're looking for your next Black Library book and you don't know what you want to read and you want a nice palate cleanse, Warhammer Crime Bloodlines. It is so good. It feels like season 1 of Expanse, you know, of like Detective Miller, Star Helix. It feels kind of like that. It's a they nailed the grim dark noir. They nailed it, and it's so good. I don't know how the other crime books are. It's the first one I've read, and it was damn good. Especially if you're a fan of like the old style, like Eisenhorn and like those style books, like the Inquisition. Like be able to get away from the mainline units, you know, and appreciate that. Oh, nice, perfect. Alright, so I've got another one. Got a little tank factory over here. Nice, old gamer dad. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're liking it, truly. That actually really makes me happy. That's what I wanted for. Like I said, that's why I decided to go for like the midnight drive. Because you know, like when you need that third place, but you work too much and you're too busy, and nothing's really open 24 hours anymore, so you just kind of go for that midnight drive. You know, that's what I'm kind of aiming for. You know, I want a chill place. We can all come here. Again, I'm trying to work really hard to bring back this, or bring what I'm calling the 40K chill wave. I'm just playing with friends. Like, I'm gonna get some guys together here in a minute and we're gonna go play a 500-point game. Probably not this week at work, but maybe next week. And we're just gonna have fun. Like, we'll play by the rules, you know, but we're gonna have fun with it, you know. So I'm excited. It's not gonna be in competitive terrain or anything like that. It's gonna be chill. Alright. Nice. There's our car. So we're gonna paint those slats purple and hit the tires and the weapons and all the other stuff. It's gonna be cool. Alright, so with that, I'm gonna take me a little bit of a break. Commander HHL, order us another pint. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I'm gonna grab myself a drink, and I will be right back here in a minute. And we're back. Howdy, howdy. Alright, ooh, glass jugs and glass ashtrays. That does sound like a classy place. Very nice. Alright. Yeah, hopefully we're liking the overlays. I had a little bit of fun with the Gene Slither stuff, so it's actually kind of cool. So like I said, the orcs are fun. So some of you guys are kind of curious, like, oh, I thought you were doing orcs. I had fun with the orcs. I collected them. No, there comes a time, and I don't know. Maybe people are better than me at war games. I guess I'm pretty decent at most tabletop war games I play. I'm not like competitive, but I'm all right. I think I'm actually pretty darn good at bolt action. Okay, at Conflict 47, but there comes a time when you know an army is not for you. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the orcs. I love orcs. I love the books. I love the lore. I like collecting and painting them. I was terrible with orcs. I thought they'd be like Imperial Japanese, but no. I thought, oh yeah, always be charging. Nope. I could never get the wall right. I think they're a great faction. I think I was more happy to have the personality of an orc player than to be an orc player. I just was not very good, right? So I was like, let me find an army that fits me. I like the guard, but it got a little too wonky, a little too weird for me. I'm like, ooh, let me try Chains of their Cold again, and then boom, nailed it. Chains of their Cold. I miss my Valks, my Vendettas, my Vultures. You got room for extra tanks, but you took away my Vultures. Alright, there's our car. Let us get a brush and get a little paint in so we can say that this actually was a painting stream. How glorious would that be? Let me find a good brush. Call you a good brush, but I think you'll be serviceable for what I need. Oh, smoking area. I love a good bar that has a smoking area. It's nice. Pipes, tobacco, cigars. Sorry, tobacco, pipes, cigars, cigarettes. I like a good smoking area. What color purple do we want? Do we want to go a little bit darker contrast, or do we want to go to lighter jeans that are purple for this? We kind of want like a very rad style paint. I'm leaning towards this. What are we thinking in the chat? Oh yeah, I think it's exactly the look we're going for. Works never lose, we wins. Yeah, very much so. So that's a good point. Well, first off, you do bring up a good point, but I just felt like they weren't me. I'm not like a brute force kind of guy. I've always been I'm a very rope-a-dope kind of tricksy player. I enjoy subtlety and subterfuge. That's why, even though I'm not the biggest fan of it, the new Conflict 47, I do pretty damn well with my Imperial Japanese. I use a lot of ambush. Hey, RK! My brother from a different mother. How's it going, man? Yeah, it is kind of weird to say that. I stream midnight to 3 a.m. Eastern, so when I say Thursday, I mean like Wednesday night, if you want to think about it that way. Oh yeah, gents, I think a couple coats of this is gonna look legit. Thanks, man. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm taking a lot of cues from Miami Vice, but I'm also trying to do like my own style thing too, you know? Like a very jean stealery. No, it's not a neon effect. It is just, ooh, let me not spill it, because that would be awkward. It is just contrast, Luxie and purple. I do have some, you'll be happy, and Squeak Hunter Sean's happy. I actually finally cheated on Citadel. Went out and got some different paint. This is mostly going to be for, like, all the different Mohawks. I got a lot of, House Escher models, because I want a lot of my, people to look like Hive Gangers and have, like, cool, like, green Mohawks, blue. I have, you know, green. And then I have blue, but I'm also going to be using this a lot for... So, I think, like, any towels they have, like, any kind of, like, dick towels, or... There's an appropriate term for that. Whatever the term is for, like, the little towel you wear in front of you. I can always call it dick towels, but I'm sure there's an appropriate term for it. Anyways, so, whatever, like, stuff like that I think are going to be purple, but I think all the flags I'm going to do in Miami Tiger Stripe. So, it's going to be this style of blue with purple and black tiger stripes on it. Loincloth, thank you, yeah. Dick towel, that was close. But I'm glad that has a neon effect. Yeah, it does. Yeah, this card's just going to be white with like kind of purple effects on it. And I'm still not sure how I'm going to do this one. So, I'm thinking black with purple accents, or the whole vehicle could be purple. I'm still kind of not sure how I want to do it. The cool thing, if I can find where I put them, there we go. You gotta remember is that these are what the bases look like. So it's definitely gonna pop. We're getting a 90s Taco Bell one. So you're not wrong. That's actually what I was gonna do my my speedboat. Commander HHL gave me a cool idea for a speedboat, which is very Miami Vice. Using an old G.I. Joe Cobra Piranha boat. I'm gonna do it like Taco Bell, but also like the old these old paper water cups, you know, blue with like the little purple squigglies. And I also have all of my my Jackal guys too, so it'll all be. I've actually taken a bunch of screenshots while I played Cyberpunk to get like some really cool from the Tiger Claws, get some really cool like bike ideas. So all their bikes are gonna look different. Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the Taco Bell thing, yep. And the theming goes even cooler if you've seen some of my my non-commissioned officers from my neophytes. They actually look like Blade Runner style detectives, so they have like the trench coat. And their power weapon that they have is usually a power maul, you know, because they're all like ex-Necromunda enforcers. So it's pretty cool. I'm really loving the vibe. Now here's the other thing too. Hopefully no one's easily offended. This is very Miami Vice, Necromunda Vice, so a lot of my 3D prints, nothing is unsafe for work. There's no nudity in any of my models. but a lot of the models are in bikinis, you know, because again, that fits with the whole Necromunda, Miami Vice, Hive Ganger. If you've ever seen House Escher, you know what I'm talking about. So I have a lot of models that are very scantily clad, so I'm pretty excited about that. Not just as like some like excited neckbeard who like picks up my models and drools over them. You know, I'm married to a very beautiful woman. I don't have to do that, but I think it really fits the whole aesthetic pretty well. Especially because it's like kind of Twisted Helix and House Escher and dealing the poison and medical supplies. I appreciate it, Commander. Also, if you guys like this and you kind of want to vibe like this, and you're looking for something to watch, if you've never watched it, it's not free. You may be able to find clips of it on YouTube. But if you like Archer and you like kind of what I'm doing, there is something that has given me so many design ideas. It's called Moonbeam City. Holy shit, it's funny. So yeah, imagine a 1980s take on humorous parody of Miami Vice, but it's all Archer style. It's really good. It got one season back in 2015, so that's all you get. But I got a lot of cool design ideas from it, and it's all drawn like have you ever been to a have you ever been to like a hair salon? Like growing up, I was born. I almost said it. So I grew up in the late 80s and the 90s, right? So you ever been to like a hair salon? You know, like that very unique style of art prints that they have up on the wall. You know, it's very they're mostly like very white-faced Asian style face features with like geometric shapes. You know, when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's a term for it. The art style's from that. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, you can even just YouTube it and you'll see a couple of clips. It's worth watching just the clips. It's called Moonbeam City. The song during our Be Right Back thing is actually the actual theme song for the show. Oh, I remember when Taco Bell had their double deckers were like some of their cheapest tacos, and they were great. It was a taco with like a little bit of refried beans and a soft taco on the outside. That'll fill you up. Anybody remember Jack in the Box 99-cent tacos and you got 2 of them? Yeah, that single slice of cheese. Like, I've never seen it. You know what it reminds me of? The way this tacos, they remind me of like stamped weaponry. Like, you ever looked at like an M3 grease gun? And like how it's like a stamped weapon? You know, like those tacos look like stamped mass-produced tacos. It's like the food version of a cheap stamped submachine gun. Tiki, I don't know how to break this to you. Oh no. Are you seeing other YouTube channels? Is this how you tell me? Or are you no longer exclusive, RK? The cheap stick, but oh, I know. Oh, I know. Trust me. I was young. You know, like when you're young, you're like immune to everything. I was young. Even now, I have a pretty good cast iron stomach, you know? But even then, I could eat anything. Those things gave me heartburn. Those were like the only things in the world that gave me heartburn was whatever the fuck they had those tacos. Nice. Alright, there's the side windows done. Now you have the back. This thing's looking pretty cool. They brought it back, or they brought back the hot, what was it, the hot and spicy or whatever? I saw it on the menu the other day for pretty cheap. Now, I'm a sucker. I'll tell you what fast food gets me. What fast food has my fat ass in a vice. Checkers or Rallies, whatever it's called, wherever you are in America. Checkers, Rallies, or a Sonic. Those get me. I don't know why. Checkers and Rallies are always in the hood too, so. And if I'm riding around and I'm strapped up, I'm like, alright, might as well go make a Checkers run. But ironically, I've never had a sketchy interaction at Checkers. The people working there are nice, the people getting food there are nice. Now they're always in the hood. So like pulling out of there, yeah, shit gets weird. But it's like a green zone inside of a red zone, you know, like there's no one throwing hands at the Checkers or Rallies. At least when I'm there. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Arcade. This thing's coming together, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty cool. I know I'm painting off stream is kind of probably bothering you. It's just a real fine detail I don't want to fuck up because, you know, it's white. Alright. I'm going to close that contrast before I make a mistake. Drop this brush in the bucket. Let me grab the base, I can give you guys the full effect. And then you can ooh-ah if you like it. If you do like it, hit me with that ooh-ah, let me know. Boom, there are the bases that I bought, that are worth every single penny I paid for them. And here's the car so far. Ooh, hear that rhyme, car so far? Take that down a little bit. Yo, that's not bad. That's pretty damn cool. I gotta put more paint on the front one, of course. It's not bad. I like it. That's pretty cool. So the car is gonna be white. We're gonna do black tires. We're gonna paint the guns. We're gonna do a couple more coats of purple on the window slats. And we're good. If you guys haven't seen my other car, I used one of those two-tone color shifting paints in a spray bottle. It worked. I took a huge risk on a Ridge Runner. I followed the instructions. I coated it black, you know, 2 coats of flat black, and then I hit it with this color shifting spray. I trusted the process. I hit it a couple times. I let it sit. You know, I made sure I was far enough away that it didn't run. It gave me like this weird kind of gunk, this like kind of covered gunk. I didn't pick it away. I let it sit and I trusted the process. I'll post some pictures in the YouTube post section so you guys can see what that car looks like. Right now it's in my army box. I don't want to get up and grab it. I'm sorry. I'll have it on stream tomorrow. But it looks pretty good, and the color actually does shift with it. Not bad. All right, I'm gonna touch up that front purple a little bit on the purple slats. Yeah, and thanks for joining me on the first stream, the first midnight run. Not bad. We had enough people in the chat to make me happy. I had plenty of people to chat with, good people. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I said it seemed like we talked about 40K. We had fun talking about it. We were chill about it. That's what matters. If you look up at the top, you have my latest subscriber, which is Quick Under Sean. I guess he unsubscribed and resubscribed. That's cool. Break my heart a little bit, but that's all right. But if you look to the right, there's my most recent opponent. So I'm actually going to update that. Every time I play someone, you know, especially if they're a person in the channel, I'm going to put their name up there. You know, that way you guys, hey, I'm down here in Florida. You guys can meet me at Warfire Games or For Honor and Glory, anywhere around there. I'm happy to come out and play if you happen to be in the state of Florida. Let me add one more thing in the stream for you guys to look at real quick. Alright, now if you guys are missing Conflict 47, you're like, Tiki, you betrayed me. You got me into Conflict 47, you trifling hoe. And then you back out of it. What am I doing with all this Conflict 47 stuff? I'm not going to leave you alone, I promise. You were in the good hands of... There's plenty of people out there who do Conflict 47. They're all different. I try not to pick favorites out there. There's some good people, you know. A lot of people do a good job. Cinematic Tabletop is, I think, is always going to be one of the GOATs. I think Attention Span and Guerrilla Miniatures, they got me into Conflict 47. I mean, they're greats. I love... Sorry, something just popped up on screen real quick. Sorry about that. No, I love Zern Central. He's my go-to guy for bolt action. Love that guy. But for Conflict 47, I will say this to the moon and back. I love Cosmic. I do. Cosmic's near to my heart. I like his music songs. I like his live stream. But to me, the Conflict 47 channel I go to now is Mike Rolls Dice. He is my guy. I like him. So if you like Conflict 47, and if you're upset, or not upset, but if you're sad that I'm not going to be covering second edition of Conflict 47, that's the guy I wholeheartedly recommend. He's awesome. I'm always in his streams, chitting and chatting with him. It's him and Rev. They're both great guys. So that way I'm not leaving you alone. I'm not getting you to Conflict 47 and then just bailing on you, you know? Hey, Glenn, what's going on? Yeah, everything's going great. I appreciate it. All right, let me get a last code on that car, and then I think we're going to be closing on the stream. Oh yeah. Cinematic Tabletop is he's the tits, absolutely, 100%. And the fact he's actually chatted with me a few times, super cool. Love it. Very humble, very nice, very good at what they do. Love those guys. Of course, there's Morning Glory, you know, but I wouldn't consider him a Conflict 47 channel. I know, not trying to start anything. He's just an overall just a good channel. 40K, old world, Conflict 47, bolt action, just all around, you know. Great guy, but I wouldn't say he specialized in any one of those, and that's a good thing. That's his own niche. We all have to have our own niche, you know. So that's his niche, and I think he does it well, for what it's worth. From nobody like me with all like 5 of my subscribers. But yeah, for Conflict 47 for this new edition, Mike Rolls Dice is putting in the hard work, and I think he just got sponsored, so that's really exciting for him. Very, very happy for him. What I like is he's not afraid to have his own fun. He plays by the rules. I'm sitting here like chatting this guy up, you know. But I like him because he plays very chill, very narrative. He kind of does his own thing. I like that. It's like the first time you boot up StarCraft back in the day after you beat the campaign. You're like, ooh, mission editor, what's that? And you're like, oh my god, I have all these assets to make whatever the hell I want. It's exactly what a lot of these games kind of feel like, and I'm glad he has that same approach. Like, oh, you know, this is how you're supposed to play? Okay, that's the bare minimum, the bones. Okay, cool. Let me see what I can add that makes it kind of cool. I'm hoping one day to get up to New York and play him, so we'll see. Ooh, there we go. Yeah. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a pimp sled. That thing is awesome. Super stoked how well it turned out. Thanks, man. Yeah, sorry I disappeared for a little while, Glenlee. I had, real life comes at me fast, and I had a lot of good opportunities that I absolutely was not going to miss. I love doing this. This is fun, but this is just a hobby. I do it for the love of the game. I had some real-world cool job opportunities pop up, and I took them. And I definitely not going to apologize for that because I love what I did. It was 100% worth it. Nice. Deus Cluck. Deus Cluck. I'm glad you got honored in the cloister. So yeah, if you guys like the stream again, we'll be doing it 3 days a week. Midnight 3 a.m. to midnight drive. So it's kind of hard to think about. I think about it as like saying Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or you can think about it Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, whichever way you want to think about it. So, however it works for your mind and your time zone. But this is what we'll do. We'll be chipping away at my Gene Stealers, my Necromunda Vice style, chilling with some Vaporwaves and some chill tunes, and just talking about good times in 40K. And there's all sorts of things I want to talk to you guys about. I want to pick your brains. I want you guys to help me come up with awesome, fun ways of playing Warhammer 40K. With my little local group, we're actually talking about testing out a few bolt action rules. We're talking about, like, you know, maybe if a vehicle doesn't do a deadly demise, it stays where it is, becomes another piece of cover. You know, like, we're thinking about coming up with some fun stuff like that, making things a little bit different, coming up with our own missions based on old Crusade missions and stuff like that. So stand by, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna try to be better about battle reports and some other stuff and different lore videos. I still plan on finishing first season of Conflict 47 lore, and maybe even some other games. Maybe I'll start doing some Gasland videos, you know, talking about the lore, the different stuff there. Scuttlebutt is there's a 3rd edition of Gaslands coming out soon. We'll see. I'm glad that you're glad that the Tiki stream is back, Squidfist. Hopefully you guys are cool with this new vibe, this new feel. We went from Too Late Tonight with Tiki, you know, very tropical, Japanese-based, Conflict 47. Yeah, I'm a theme horror, and all thematic. And now we have Necromunda Vice, my 40K Gene Stealer Cold, very chill, kind of laid-back vibe. So hopefully this works for you guys too. I'm excited if you guys tune in tomorrow. I think it'll be a good time. But the biggest thing is I put it in the title and I put it in on a lot of the overlays. Is just the 40K chill vibe. Don't be afraid to not turn your back on 40K. It could be as good as you want it to be. I think the bones are there. I really do. I'm not an expert. I've played tabletop war games and TTRPGs, but I'm no expert.
2:55 a.m.
Ooh, that's my alarm. But I think the bones are there, guys and girls. I really do. I think 40K 11th. I think it could be fun. It's gonna take work. It's gonna take some narrative work. I think it really does. I think it's gonna take some narrative work to do, but I think the bones are good. And it's early in the edition. We don't have to. Nothing wrong with competitive. You guys, hey, what's going on, Still and Sure? If you guys want to do competitive, more power to you. Some people like that, some people don't. It's like dating. Some people like speed dating or dating apps. Some people like the old-fashioned style of going to the coffee shop and see what happens. No shame. Whatever way you like it, as long as you're playing with like-minded people who agree to the rules, you're golden. But we don't have to follow the competitive way as if it's the only way. I think we all could bring back the 40K chill wave. I think we can do it, guys. So if you guys are headed off to sleep. I hope you have the best dreams. I hope you fall asleep and you're just transported on a midnight ride down a late night street. You know, you got neon palm trees, fluorescent flamingos, and you're just absolutely chilling with the top down. If you're going to work, I hope it's a great day at work. I hope you absolutely sail through, fly under the radar, and no one knows you're there. And as always, I hope you guys stay safe, stay hydrated. I missed you guys. And don't forget to relax today, because you're on Tiki time.